live and direct. It's Freshcobar TV. Is this thing on?
Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you checking us out as usual. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to park the bikes, Eleanor and Penny, for a second, and we're going to talk about the one piece of equipment that's more powerful than any engine and more complex than any GPS. We're going to talk about the rider's mind. You have seen the videos, epic journeys across continents, riding whichever brand bike, whether you have Harley Davidson, an Indian, a Honda, whatever it may be. Riders pushing through every kind of weather imaginable: sleet, snow, rain, more sunlight, direct sunlight, hot, Death Valley hot sometimes. But have you ever stopped to wonder, how do they do it? Not just physically, but from a mental perspective. This is what we're going to talk about. How do you endure thousands of miles, I should say, with nothing but road for the company? Let's talk about it. But here's the twist to it all. The same isolation is now the reward. It is the reason why many of us ride in the first place. Think about it. Is the risk worth the reward? Of course. We do it every weekend, or every time we take 2 weeks to ride cross country to California and back to Tampa or back to Atlanta or where you started from. That's a risk, and the reward is definitely worth it in our minds. So you got to think about it this way. It's a form of high-speed meditation. Of course, without the constant chatter of the outside world, because you're alone. You're forced to actually listen to yourself. You process things, life. You process all those problems in your head. You find a sense of clarity you just can't get anywhere else than inside of your helmet, listening to the wind, barely listening to your radio, and you watching the world go by you at 80 to 100 miles an hour sometime, depending on how you ride. You all know the feeling. All right, so let's talk about the magical feeling. What is that in the zone feeling from a psychological perspective? You know the feeling. The bike feels like an extension of your body. Your reactions are instant. The world seems to just fade away to black. And it's just you, the bike, and the ribbon of the road ahead. Sometimes we get so captivated out there, we forget about everything on that bike ride other than that one road that we're taking, the direction, and our final destination. Psychologists call this a flow state. It happens when a challenge is perfectly matched to your skill level. The task is hard enough to require your full concentration, but not so hard that it's overwhelming. Excuse me, as long distance riders, I don't think that we will ever say long distance riding is overwhelming, but it can be. Think about it. Your son or daughter might be ill. You got some financial woes at home that gives you a little bit of stress. All of that packs into one, and now you're taking it on your trip. But magically, these things tend to disappear until you go back from whence you came. Just think about it for a second. We talk about that flow state. When you're in that flow, your sense of self-consciousness, it just dissolves. You stop thinking and you just do. sometimes things get a little bit weird. Hours can honestly feel like minutes. This state is profoundly satisfying. And that's when you smile to yourself in your helmet and you say, man, I'm actually doing this. I'm past El Paso on the way to California, or I'm past New York going to Maine. I'm actually right there. I can feel it. I can taste it. This is what long distance riding is about. It's a total escape from the noise of life into a moment of pure focused existence of you and your motorcycle. Now for the tough part, fatigue. We're talking about that moment you're tired, you're sore, and a part of your brain is begging you to just stop, but you don't. You just push on. I've been there before. Me and a buddy of mine were riding in West Virginia, and let's just say we have markers 1 through 100. And at about marker 75, I'm in the Cena talking to him, and I'm like, yo, where did like 20 miles go? I didn't recognize that we passed those markers. It happens. When you push past that perceived limit, you discover something incredible, a hidden reserve of strength that you never knew you had. But you have to push yourself to get to that strength, right? You learn that your limit was just a suggestion, not a brick wall. Like for instance, suggestions, I always tell people, if I give you a suggestion, you can use it, lose it, or forget about it. Majority of the time in this instance, when you feel that adrenaline pumping, you're gonna take that suggestion that you can go further. Of course, you gotta keep in mind safety. And I say safety because this is where the real personal growth happens. It's not just about finishing the ride at this point. It's about knowing you faced down whatever your exhaustion was and you won. That builds a deep, unshakable confidence that you can carry with you along after the engine is turned off and the ticking stops and the engine cools down. You have proven to yourself that you are tougher than you thought. It's definitely a powerful thing. And since we're talking about pushing past that exhaustion, go ahead, tell me down in the comments, when was a time that you ever pushed past that exhaustion point and what did you do? That'll be good to see what you guys talking about. Okay, one final question, and it's really a practical one. Beyond the bike and the gear, how can we actually mentally prepare or train for an epic journey? First off, visualization. This is a technique that top athletes use. Weeks prior before your trip, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you mentally rehearse the journey. I'm gonna go up 75, I'm gonna take I-10 East, I'm gonna stop in Baton Rouge, then I'm gonna go to El Paso the next day, then I'm gonna go to Santa Monica Pier and finish the I-10 to the end. That's what we're talking about, visualization. What will I be doing in the future for this ride? This is mentally rehearsing the journey. Don't just picture the sunny days, but you gotta picture yourself riding confidently through the rain, wind. 40 east is a lot of wind out there sometimes. Picture yourself riding confidently, even if you get a flat tire, but you gotta deal with it calmly. This prepares your mind for adversity, so when it happens, you're ready. I recently had a guy break down and he called me furious. Man, I had a flat tire. I don't know what to do. And Harley's not close by. I'm like, do you have insurance? You should. Or AAA. I'm pretty sure that you have tow on your insurance. Calm down. Go in your wallet or your little zip bag or whatever you carry your cards. Call AAA or call your insurance. If both of those fail, then you need to start calling some friends that you have made along the way to say, hey, is anybody close by to help me out? But being calm in a situation always helps out once you're trying to visualize the ride, and then once you get on that ride and something happens. Mentally training. The second one is mindfulness. You don't have to sit and meditate, like this. You don't have to do all that. Practice on your bike. On your next short ride, turn off the music. Focus completely on the present moment. Feel the wind. Listen to the engine. Pay attention to your breathing. This actually trains your brain to stay in the now, which is your greatest weapon against the two biggest mental enemies on a long haul, which is dwelling on the miles behind you and feeling anxious about the miles ahead. So when we put this all together, what does it mean? Why do we do this? The journeys you all love watching, the rides you go on, they are stories of transformation. We don't ride thousands of miles in spite of the difficulty. We do it because of it. The open road simplifies everything. It strips away the noise and forces a raw, honest conversation with yourself. And yes, I know that some of you guys actually speak to yourself while you're riding, but that's a different topic. The real destination isn't a place on a map. It is stronger, more resilient, more self-aware version of yourself. Every mile marker that you pass is a small victory. Every challenge overcome is another layer of mental armor. You're not just riding to get somewhere, you're riding to become someone. And that right there is the psychology of the open road. Many of us have traversed these roads over the last 9-10 years that I've been riding long distance. And I can tell you that every time I see one of you guys, they always tell me, oh, remember when we hit El Paso, or remember when we hit Maine, and remember when we hit Mount Rushmore? Man, because it's a stamp that now you're validated that you are someone else because of that long distance ride. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a bit different, but really I wanted to explore the why behind what we do. I'm gonna do a little bit more of these sittings just in my garage, no fancy studio, with Eleanor and Penny right beside me. And yeah, I want to hear from you guys, so drop a comment below and tell me the biggest psychological challenge that you have faced on a long ride. Was it the loneliness? Was it the fatigue? Was it the fear? Yeah, let's get a conversation going, man. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. Your support on this channel, it just keeps us going on the road, and it keeps me bringing content to you guys. Ride safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next time.